was supposed to go on at 10, so like I was gonna shower at 9:30 real quick, and I'm like all over the place.
Oh, man.
Good morning, Gator Nation. Names are already rolling in. Corey Bender hasn't showered, if you can smell that. It's Nick Del Torre, Corey Bender, Gators Online here. National Signing Day. This is what Florida fans have been waiting for. Corey, how are you feeling? How much coffee has been consumed? What is the mood this morning?
Well, I was gonna say I pulled an all-nighter, so my plan was I showered in the middle of the night, had coffee at 3, and just had another cup a little bit ago. But yeah, I just know I feel good, man. It's I think it's different than other times of year. Usually it's by myself, but Keith and I together has kind of took the load just off me, and I'm sure he can see the same thing. But yeah, man, it's going pretty good so far. About a handful of signatures in, and a long day ahead.
Here's the one that I'm always interested in. I'm sure fans are as well. First signing, first guy to wake up. I think it's 7 a.m. local time. So for one recruit, that's like 1 p.m. local in Germany. But who was the first recruit to get their fax in and to get the tweet from Florida?
Yeah, so Miles Graham, I mean, he had a ceremony yesterday, just based off, their school just worked better with, the way their scheduling release does. So he was the first one in. I know some people are kind of brought his name down the stretch, asking, is he going to look around? Alabama went to his school, tried to speak to him a little bit, but he's been all Gators. And, as Keith and I have been saying, Florida's very high on him. They think he can see the field, early, year one. It's kind of funny. You look back over the years with recruiting, you always – like when corners, you always want the big corners. A 6'3" corner is a prototypical guy. Now it's shifting back to who's just a solid football player. Like Graham's not that really tall, prototypical long-term guy, but he's a hell of a football player. He's going to have a long career. And Florida sees that, and they need that run stopper. So I think he's a guy who'll probably outplay his ranking, I believe, if I had to kind of put a prediction on that. But definitely a guy they need, a physical force, more of a throwback type of Mike linebacker. So I think he kind of fits Florida's scheme like a glove. So,
and listen, in case if you have some injuries in the running back room, Miles Graham, dad, pretty good running back in orange and blue, and Miles was able to run the ball for Buchholz too. Obviously, the plan is for him to play linebacker. Just saying, in a pinch. The next one to come in was a junior college guy, not a freshman, but Brian Taylor, someone you spoke with when you were on campus after his visit. And I know that you were, while pulling your all-nighter, were grinding some tape last night watching him. What can Gator fans expect there, Corey?
Yeah, it's funny. He's a top 15 JUCO player overall. I actually think he could be higher. I mean, you watch his film, they list him about 6'5", 280. But, man, he changes direction like a linebacker. He's explosive, good frame, doesn't hold much bad weight, so he's not one of those type of guys. And I just think, you look at his offer sheet, I'm not surprised Georgia, Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, these schools are pursuing him. I think he's a guy who can challenge for a spot right away. I think probably at that strong side, the end spot. I know Justice Boone comes back. You have a few guys, obviously some experienced guys at the position. But as far as I think he's more athletic than those guys, and I think obviously there's always going to be an adjustment going from junior college to the SEC, but I think that's a bigger commitment than what people believe. And I know people look at the 3-star part too. JUCO rankings are kind of weird like that, where they don't even really have many 5-stars. It's really like 4 and 3 stars, the criteria, how they do it. But this kid's definitely better than that 3-star ranking. The kid should be a stud at Florida.
The next one, I'm watching these videos. I think interesting videos Florida's put out. I heard them sneak in Kyle Pitts 2.0 in this video. It's Amir Jackson from Portal, Georgia. Florida is losing a couple guys at the tight end position. And really, this is a kid I think Florida fans should be excited about.
When you look at this remaining class, obviously DJ Lagway, I said last weekend, was the most important visitor, even though they had transfers and stuff. But when you look at the current class as far as who they needed, I thought Amir Jackson was up there too. I mean, Arlis Boardingham really emerged. I think he's going to have a great career. He should probably start, obviously, next year. Hayden Hansen will play a lot, but I think Amir Jackson's a different type of athlete than both those guys. Like you said, kind of, I don't like saying like comparing to Kyle Pitts, but same type of style of play. Does a good job of timing his jump in the red zone. He's almost like a bigger receiver playing tight end. I think you can split him out wide. He's your kind of new age tight end where he doesn't have to play with his hand in the dirt. So I think Florida being able to hold off all these big time schools for him was very important. They needed a high caliber tight end this class, and I think they got it. I think this kid, the sky's the limit with this kid.
Yeah, that's don't know. Listen, thank you for the compliment, but don't put those kind of expectations on me.
Yeah.
Right out of the
Was
gate.
that actually in the video? It's like Kyle Pitts 2.0 is in the
Yeah.
video they put out. Wow.
Yeah.
That's bold. I mean, that's pretty. If you're Amir Jackson at home, you're like, wow, okay, they really like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he. Listen, if they're putting it in the video, it's probably not the first time he's heard them say it.
He's like, hey guys, everyone likes me. Look at my video, Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. The next one to come in, this is the one I was talking about. It's 8 a.m. for us, already 2 p.m. in Germany. Noel Portjn.
Yeah, Portjn. No, that was good.
Portjn? Look at that.
You said it's 2 a.m. in Germany right now? Is that what it is?
2 p.m.
Middle of the day. I was going to say, I thought it was an 8-hour difference. I was going to say, yeah, wow. So, yeah, he's back. I like this kid, Nick. I think, people look at just the background, right? He plays in Germany. He came over and camped in the summer. He got offers from South Carolina, I believe Auburn and Florida right away. You watch his film. He plays against older competition, too. And I think that will help him in his transition, being against kind of older, more mature, stronger guys. But there's some technical traits I do like. You have to probably be patient with them and let them just kind of catch up with the speed of the game over here in the States. But I think after a couple of years, I think he's a versatile piece who can kind of play inside and out. And a lot of people are high in this kid's potential. I think, too, he's a high character kid, too. He committed and never looked back, just wanted to be a Gator. And I think that means more than what people think. A kid who's just committed to the staff and the program. So I think he understands his role. He's not expected to play right away, but he's willing to put in the work, and we'll see kind of what the finished product is.
And then the next one, smaller stature, gigantic nickname. We're talking Tank. Florida's getting a guy at wide receiver. What can Florida fans expect? I think if they're looking at him just the way that he looks, you're thinking of a guy who wears, I think he might wear number 1 next year. But looking at a guy like Eugene Wilson and seeing someone who looks very similar, both in stature and physical ability in his play.
Yeah, no, I think it's just another game breaker, a guy that can obviously turn a 5 or 10-yard gain into a 60-yard gain if you miss a tackle. I think overall when you look at him and Eugene Wilson, very similar. I think Eugene was probably a little bit stronger as far as his frame coming in, but I think Jerrae Hawkins, when he does get there, I mean, they'll get him involved somehow. I mean, he has to get stronger. He has to add weight, but I think they can kind of use some trickery with him on reverses and certain things. Just kind of get him in space. They kind of get his feet going in SEC play. But it'll be interesting. Florida needs these guys, man. I think the whole receiver room, like you said, after Ricky Pearsall obviously is hanging off to the NFL, and Eugene Wilson's the face of that room. Other than that, they definitely kind of have. I mean, there's a lot of proving to go on. So I think Florida, I think they need to get another receiver in the portal. I think they need a bigger receiver to kind of complement Eugene and some of these smaller guys. But you can't have too many of these guys, man, that can really score touchdowns. Florida needs that, and they should be creative with them too.
So that's 5 in today. Florida should have a bunch of news coming throughout the day. We're going to do a couple of these videos. I don't want to keep Corey and Keith away from their actual jobs, hanging out with me on YouTube. So,
well, when you do this, Keith is outside freezing doing my work. So at the same time, it's like a win-win for me. No, I'm playing.
Yeah, you just
these are fun though. I think fans like these. I think just to kind of get live insight. We didn't do this in years past either, did we?
No, this is new for us. We're definitely trying to do more on YouTube. That's free for you guys. All we need you to do when you're on YouTube is hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends. So we're going to do this probably 4 times today, maybe 5th time after Billy Napier's press conference tonight. Corey, what else do you think Florida fans should be looking forward to today? There's been some DJ Lagway talk with USC losing some quarterbacks and coming in. LJ McCray, is there anything to worry about? Just a quick snapshot, and then we'll let you get out of here.
Yeah, no, I think overall, I mean, right now, actually moments ago, I put in a flip pick for Darius Hayes to go to Miami. That shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. He's been training towards Miami for the last week, so that's something I think he'll head elsewhere. We're tracking Amaris Williams too, the D-line commit at Florida, who Auburn, Ohio State are heavily pushing. I don't have him staying with Florida. I mean, never say never, because this kid's recruitment's been all over the place, but I think Auburn wins out for him. 2 guys, actually really 3 guys I think Florida is in a really good spot for. Jaden Baugh, the running back. Gregory Smith this afternoon. He's a 4-star safety out of the Tampa Bay area. He'll be announcing. And the last one is Favor Edwin, a 6'8" offensive tackle, a really big kid. It's interesting, man, because Auburn and Alabama were trending for much of the past several weeks. Then he told us like exclusively that, hey, no, Florida's my top 3. And here's my alarm going off. So I think Florida has a real shot, man. And Florida's been in the actually recruiting much longer than the Alabama schools. They actually probably could have guys commitment in June if they push a little bit harder. So I'm not too surprised about Florida kind of generating some buzz down the stretch, but I think it's one of those recruitments he can pick all 3 schools, and it wouldn't surprise me. And actually, Nick, just to add on that, I DM'd Favor Evan a little bit ago to ask any update on his commitment announcement date. Still, like he told Keith he didn't have a time, and even as a few minutes ago, he didn't either. So we'll see. I'm expecting probably early afternoon, though.
You asked him, hey, can you do me a favor and let me know what time you're going to be committing today?
Well, you and I did. Because I know the kid we've talked quite a bit before. I actually told him, I said, what are the chances of you just announcing that you're going to go play professional basketball this afternoon? And he's just like, I can dunk. He can dunk on all this stuff, but he's a good kid, man. I think he's pretty much torn. I can tell right now it's probably a hard decision for him. So we'll see, man. Florida feels kind of optimistic down the stretch. We'll see if they can get it done.
Should be a big day in Gainesville. Make sure you're following Gators Online. Zach Albaverdi is inside the building. We had some scoop on the message boards. And, of course, Corey, Keith. Can't wait to see Keith freezing his butt off somewhere on the campus at the university.
So Zach is actually not far from Keith, but he's warm in the building. But Keith is outside stuck in the cold. Okay.
Yeah. Smart move by the University
National
of Florida. All right. For Corey Bender, I'm Nick Delatorre. Stay locked in with Gators Online today as we keep you updated minute by minute on what's happening for National Signing Day. We'll see you guys at 10 a.m.